Hello and welcome back, Magic Cat back in crypto video. Hope you guys do well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another banger video where we're going to be talking about the SEC. Everything you need to know about the Securities and Exchange Commission. We're going to be going over their role, impact, key regulations, and notable cases. So without further ado, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe for more videos like this. Moving on to where it has all started, the SEC was established in Washington, D.C. in 1934, followed by the Securities Act of 1933. It regulates securities markets and protects investors. It was created in the response to the stock market crash of 1929 and the subsequent Great Depression, with the primary goal of restoring investor confidence in securities markets. Moving on to one of the first major historical milestones in 2001 to do with the energy company Enron and the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. The scandal, disclosed in October 2001, remains a significant event in corporate fraud history, where shareholders lost $74 billion in the 4 years leading up to the bankruptcy, and its employees lost billions in pension benefits. Executives were charged with fraud and conspiracy, shareholders lost tens of billions of dollars, thousands of employees lost their jobs and pensions. The scandal, along with other corporate frauds at the time, promoted a loss of investor confidence in financial markets. In response, Congress enacted the Sarbanes-Oxley Act in July 2002, and this improved the financial reporting and auditing standards. Moving on to the next milestone, where it is about a man who's responsible for the largest Ponzi scheme in history, and that man's name is Bernie Madoff. He was a pioneer in electronic trading and a chairman of Nasdaq Stock Exchange in the early 1990s. His investors put their trust in him because he created a front of respectability. His returns were high but not outlandish, and he claimed to use a legitimate strategy. He defrauded investors of approximately $65 billion in the course of at least 17 years. The SEC faced severe criticism for failing to detect the fraud despite multiple warnings and tips, highlighting the significant lapses in regulatory oversight. The next historical milestone in 2010 to do with the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform Act, and its purpose enacted in the response to the 2008 financial crisis. It aimed to prevent any future economic collapses. The impact: it implemented the Volcker Rule to restrict speculative investments by banks. It created the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, increased transparency and accountability in financial markets, enhanced the powers of the SEC and CFTC, and imposed stricter capital and liquidity requirements on banks. Now, this did face some criticism for increasing regulatory burdens on financial entities. There were some rollbacks that happened, but Dodd-Frank still remains a cornerstone of U.S. financial regulatory reform. Next up, to one of the more notable cases in 2018, Tesla and Elon Musk, where SEC charged Musk with securities fraud over misleading tweets, which led to market volatility. The settlement required Musk to step down as Tesla's chairman for 3 years and pay a $20 million fine. And this was a tweet where he said, "I'm considering taking Tesla private at $420, funding secured." Next event is 2020, where the focus on cryptocurrency regulation from the SEC due to the bull market that happened in 2020, where the focus was the main narrative of that bull run was decentralized finance and things like Uniswap. As cryptocurrencies gained popularity, the SEC turned its focus to regulating digital assets to protect investors and ensure market integrity. Gary Gensler was nominated to chair the SEC by President Joseph R. Biden on February 3, 2021, and confirmed by the U.S. Senate on April 14, 2021. He was a professor at MIT and a former chair at the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC. Next event in 2020, where the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple Labs in December 2020 alleged that the company conducted an unregistered security offering worth $1.3 billion via XRP. Ripple defended itself by claiming XRP is just a currency. The ongoing legal battle saw a partial victory for Ripple in December 2022 when a judge ruled XRP is not necessarily a security. The implications for this and for security in general, where the case highlights regulatory uncertainty in the crypto market, potential impact on other digital assets and ICOs. Next event in 2021 with Uniswap's investigation. In September 2021, the SEC launched an investigation into Uniswap Labs, the developer behind one of the largest decentralized exchanges. The investigation The investigation focused on how investors use the platform and how it was marketed, reflecting the SEC's increasing scrutiny of decentralized financed projects. Uniswap Labs has expressed its intention to cooperate fully with the SEC and has highlighted its commitment to compliance and constructive regulatory discussions. And the focus areas, of course, was how investors use the Uniswap platform and the marketing practices of Uniswap Labs. Next up, the most recent event in 2023, Hex and Richard Heart. On July 2023, the SEC charged Richard Heart and entities associated with Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX for raising over $1 billion through unregistered securities offerings. Also accused of misappropriating $12 million for personal luxury goods. The case is still ongoing with significant implications for crypto regulation. Now, this is the legal defense position for Hex and Richard Heart. Hex's defense against the SEC hinges on the code of speech principle, suggesting that writing and deploying a smart contract is a protected form of expression under the First Amendment. Smart contracts operate without intermediaries. They challenge traditional securities definitions. Potential stifling of innovation and infringement on blockchain communication and transaction freedom. PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum and could inherit non-security attributes from Ethereum by default. Moving on to an event in 2024, Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF approval. On January 10th, 2024, the SEC approved the first Bitcoin exchange-traded funds. This approval marked a significant milestone for the cryptocurrency market, providing mainstream investors with easier access to Bitcoin investments. Following the approval for Bitcoin ETFs, the SEC approved rule changes for Ethereum ETFs on May 23, 2024. These ETFs are classified as commodity-based trust shares, suggesting that Ether is treated as a commodity rather than a security, though the SEC did not provide detailed analysis on this classification. SEC Chair Gary Gensler said that the Commission could give final approvals on spot Ether ETFs sometime in summer 2024. Now, analysts expect the spot ETFs to launch sometime this month, mid-July of 2024. We will see. Going on with more info about, what are the impacts of ETF approvals. Increased accessibility for retail and institutional investors. Enhanced legitimacy and broader investor base, because now you're attracting retailers and institutional investors. Potential market stabilization through institutional investment. And what do we mean by that is because of the more influx of money that is coming in. I have two examples here where the US spot Bitcoin exchange funds have surpassed 200 billion in the first 3 months. And of course, Ether spot ETFs to see up to 5 billion of net flows in the first 6 months of ETFs approval, hopefully, once it's launched. Next up, this is the conclusion of my thoughts on the SEC's role in regulating financial markets. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. The Securities and Exchange Commissions play a crucial role in maintaining the integrity and stability of traditional financial markets. The SEC's primary mission is to protect investors, maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and facilitate capital information. Now, I do agree in this part because, of course, you don't want it to be a completely free market, because this will basically, promote information asymmetry, which is not a win-win for obviously one party of the exchange. So I do see an absolute need in an SEC to be an entity that is empowered, in charge. However, the rapid emergence of cryptocurrencies and digital assets presents new challenges that the SEC is still grappling with. And this is my main takeaway from this video. There is a growing consensus that the agency needs a deeper understanding of the technology, which is crypto, and its unique characteristics before it can effectively regulate this sector. Because, of course, you cannot apply the traditional definitions in the financial world into the crypto world. And this is my takeaway of it. Guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video where I gave you kind of a brief and important history about the Securities Exchange Commission, what are their role, why it's needed, because, of course, we've had some, past notable cases where a lot of people lost money. So I want to hear you guys' thoughts about it. This was just kind of an introductory video presentation that I wanted to make. So thank you very much to all my YouTube members. You guys can support me through that, or you can buy me a coffee, link in the description. Go follow me on my Twitter. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. You can share and repost this video there. I'd really appreciate it. I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments as well. I really hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you soon. Bye bye.